Today I am back at my friends at DC Pianos in Berkeley, California, and they have a really wide range of cool musical instruments. They have lots of awesome acoustic pianos, and they also have a pretty wide range of digitals. You can probably see that there's an assortment of keyboards. And the one that was sitting out here right in the aisle that I just was walking by and decided to play a little bit was the Roland FP90. And I sat down and I was actually really impressed with it, because this is not the cheapest keyboard you can buy, but it's also not the most expensive. It's somewhere in the middle, and it kind of leans towards the cheaper end of the spectrum. But for the price that you're paying for this, you're getting actually a really good keyboard. And I was very impressed with not only the quality of the sounds, but just the way it all works, and also the feel of the action is all very, very nice. And so I figured I'd demonstrate it for you. I'm going to start off with the piano sound because that's my main instrument, but I'm also going to show you guys some of the other cool sounds on here that I really like and that I really appreciate. There's over 300 sounds on here, which is a lot of sounds, and almost all of them are really good. So let's start off here with the piano sound. I'm going to first play my little test piece that I wrote to test out pianos. It starts off in the treble, goes on into the bass, and let's see how that sounds on the Roland FP90. So that is the sound of the default piano sound on the Roland FP90. I believe when you boot it up, this is the sound that it goes to. It's called 1 concert piano, and there's a few others: ballad piano, mellow, bright, upright, mellow, upright, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole bunch of other versions, but that is the default concert grand piano, and it's actually not bad. The speakers it's coming out of are right up here, and so they are a little bit limited. On many other models, you'll have bass speakers down here that give it a more full sound. But for being a simple speaker bar just on top, I'm actually very impressed with the sound of the built-in speakers. On a lot of instruments, the built-in speakers aren't too hot, but on this one they're actually very respectable and they sound pretty good. So that is the concert piano sound. I'm going to play a couple more Bach pieces on there because I usually play those on the acoustic pianos. So let's see how those sound on here. They tend to bring out the warmth and the fullness of the mid-range. Let's see how that works on this keyboard. So that just gave a little bit more of a demonstration of the sound of the piano on the Roland FP30. Is it as good as a much more expensive keyboard or the sound of an acoustic piano? Well, no, but you do have to keep in mind that this is a relatively affordable instrument, and for the price that you pay, you're getting a very nice instrument. One thing I really like about it, I'm going to turn the volume down here so I can play the keys and not make sound, is the feel of the action is actually quite nice on some of the cheaper pianos. Also, what I'm noticing is there's wood, or definitely what appears to be wood. It looks like real wood on the side of the keys. So that would be part of the reason why these actually feel so nice. I was going to say that on many cheaper end keyboards, the action kind of leaves a little bit to be desired, but this one here actually has a very nice feel, and I just now realized that it has wood underneath the keys. So the keys themselves are made of wood. I don't know if they're full length. They don't really feel like it, but they do have a pretty good feel. They're a little bit light, and they're very responsive and quick, and it's very easy to play. And so I do like the feel of the action on this instrument. I mentioned that it has over 300 sounds, which is really, really good. I've seen some keyboards that cost nearly 10 times the price of this that have like 10 to 15, which is kind of interesting. But what's nice about this is that many of the sounds are actually really good. It's not like you have 5 awesome sounds and the rest of them are junk. There's many awesome sounds spread out throughout the sound of this piano. So let me play a little bit of Riders on the Storm here with a Rhodes sound to give you an idea of what that sounds like. So that is the sound of the Rhodes sound on the Roland FP90. It sounds really good. The treble on it sounds a lot like the actual Rhodes. I think that the mid-range here could use a little bit more bass frequencies to it, and we do have an equalizer over here, so if I pump that up, oh, that actually, I think it just needs a little bit more bass tones to it. I did pump up the low. I think it helped a little bit, but I think if I just had a little bit more fullness there, I think it would sound really, really good. You can hear a difference when I turn that up. But if I had a little bit more bass frequency or a little bit less high partials, I think it would sound quite nice in that mid-range there. Tiny EP Light, Modified Dyno, Whirly 200. So a lot of cool sounds on here. One of my favorites on here actually is this particular organ sound. It's called Combo Jazz Organ on the organ category. It's the 4th one in, and it sounds really cool. It has a really awesome sound to it, and it's a lot of fun to play. And what's kind of neat is that while you don't have drawbar controls on this keyboard, you do have a lot of organ sounds. I don't know how many there are in the organ category. There's 15 here, and in the other category, there's like at least another 15, maybe 30. There's a lot of different organ sounds, and you also have something perhaps like this. Of course, that would be imitating the sound of a Vox Continental, which was used by the Animals, and in fact, the sound, the name of it says Animal Mod. There's also one here that's called Rising Sun, but it sounds a little bit less like the one on the actual record, to me at least. It does have kind of the tremolo effect, but it also sounds a little bit grittier, which I don't remember the one on the record sounding like, but it is kind of cool that you have a lot of different organ sounds. There's also some church organ, pipe organ, stuff like that, which is kind of neat. There's a pad selection here, and there's a wide variety of synth pads and stuff. One of my favorites here in this selection is this Tron string sound. You You might think that sounds really weird, but what that's supposed to be emulating is the sound of a mellotron, which is a keyboard instrument that I haven't been able to review because they're very rare, but basically those were a really strange keyboard instrument that used actual tape loops every time you played a note, and that's why it had a really funky, unique sound, and that's what this is supposed to be imitating. Has a very unique sound and a very cool one. On the other category, there's even a bunch more that I really like. One of my favorites is the flip pad. It's just fun and percussive and bouncy and really awesome. There's a whole bunch on here. I could go on and on talking about one of my favorites. So there's one in the other category. Where is it? It's like 48, Celesta. Let me get the volume up here. It's a very good Celesta sound. That just kind of goes to show you that the Roland FP90 has a wide range of sounds, and for pretty much any music you like, there's probably going to be something in here. Here's a bunch more organ sounds. There's even a reed organ sound in here, which you don't see too often in keyboards. So that's kind of fun. There was one also in here that I really like. There's a bunch of string pads, guitar sounds. Like I said, I could go on and on, but I wanted to find this one last one that I thought was really cool. This one. It's weird and funky and just awesome sounding. It's the tremolo strings one. String pads are kind of hard to make them actually sound like a real orchestra, but that one is a lot of fun to just play around with. That D in particular sounds really nice. But that's just a quick little demonstration of the Roland FP90. It's a pretty affordable keyboard that honestly I think packs a punch. The action on it sounds really good. It looks like there are, I don't know if, it looks like there's record functions. There's also built-in metronome. You know, it's a lot of good, things for students, and also just as an instrument, it's actually pretty respectable. Like I said, some of the lower end keyboards kind of lack and they're not that great, but this one here I do enjoy. Many of the sounds in it sound awesome, the action feels really good, and overall it's a really fantastic keyboard. I know a lot of you guys want me to review kind of the cheaper end things, and this here I think fits into that category, and I really like it, so hopefully you guys do as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, you might want to go check out my channel. I've got lots of cool videos of keyboards, pianos, organs, and all kinds of neat other keyboard instruments. If you want, you might want to go check all that stuff out, and if you want to, you might want to think about subscribing. If you do subscribe, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.